What are the new UK anti-COVID border restrictions? The Health Secretary Matt Hancock has unveiled new measures aimed at protecting the UK from new and potentially dangerous variants of COVID-19 arriving from abroad. What has the Health Secretary announced? The government is setting up a system of hotel quarantine for UK and Irish residents arriving in England for anyone who has been in a wet list country in the 10 days prior to their arrival in England. 16 hotels with 4,600 rooms have been initially contracted. Those who arrive will have to book through an online platform and pay for a quarantine package costing 1,750 pounds for an individual traveling alone, which includes the hotel, transport, and testing. They will have to quarantine for 10 days, and the quarantine period could be extended if they test positive for COVID-19. Those arriving from countries not on the red list will have to quarantine at home. Which countries are on the red list? Foreign nationals who have been in or foreign nationals who have been in Foreign nationals who have been in or through any of the red list countries in the last 10 days will be refused entry to the UK. There are more than 30 countries on the list including Brazil, Portugal, and South Africa. Which countries are being hit the hardest? What about testings? All passengers will take a pre-departure test and cannot travel to the UK if the test is positive. But from Monday, all international arrivals, whether under home quarantine or hotel quarantine, will be required by law to take further swab tests on day 2 and day 8 of the quarantine. If either of these post-arrival tests comes back positive, they will have to quarantine for a further 10 days from the date of the test. What if arrivals do not comply with the new rules? Passenger carriers, such as airlines, will have a duty in law to make sure that passengers have signed up for these new arrangements before they travel. Significant fines will be levied against anyone found not to have complied. These include a £1,000 penalty for any international arrival who fails to take a mandatory test, a £2,000 penalty for any international arrival who fails to take the second mandatory test, as well as automatically extending their quarantine period to 14 days, and a £5,000 fixed penalty notice, raising to £10,000 for arrivals who fail to quarantine in a designated hotel. Furthermore, anyone found to have lied on the passenger locator form completed by all international arrivals to conceal that they have been in the country on the red list in the 10 days before arrival will face a prison sentence of up to 10 years. What about the other UK nations? The Scottish Government's Transport Secretary announced that from Monday, all international arrivals into Scotland will have been subject to a hotel quarantine for 10 days. Going further than going further than the policy in England, where hotel quarantine will just apply to arrivals from red list countries. Scots arriving via England from red list countries will be required to complete their mandatory hotel quarantine there before returning home north of the border. Why is this happening? The government is concerned about the potential impact new variants of the coronavirus could have on the mass vaccination program in the UK. Any positive test caused among those under quarantine will automatically undergo genomic sequencing to confirm whether they have a variant of concern. As 2021 unfolds, and you are joining us from Hong Kong, we have a small favor to ask. You've read 10 articles in the last year, and you are not alone. Through these turbulent and challenging times, millions rely on the Guardian for independent journalism that stands for truth and integrity. Readers choose to choose Readers chose to support us financially more than 1.5 million times in 2020, joining existing supporters in 180 countries. For 2021, we commit to another year of high-impact reporting that can counter misinformation and authoritative or authoritative 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 an authoritative, trustworthy source of news for everyone, with no shareholders or billionaire owner. We set our own agenda and provide truth-seeking journalism that's free from commercial and political influence. When it's never mattered more, we can investigate and challenge without fear of or favor. Unlike many others, we have maintained our choice to keep Guardian journalism open for readers, regardless of where they live or what they can afford to pay. We do this because we believe in information equality, equality, information equality, 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 equality. We do this because we believe in information equality, where everyone deserves to read accurate news and thoughtful analysis. Greater numbers of people are staying well informed on world events and being inspired to take meaningful action. In the last year alone, we offered readers a comprehensive international perspective on critical events, from the Black Lives Matter protest to the U.S. Presidential election. Brexit and the ongoing pandemic, we enhanced our reputation of urgent, powerful reporting on the climate emergency and make the decision to reject advertising from fossil fuel companies. Divest from the oil and gas industries and set a course to achieve net zero emissions by 2030. If there were ever a time to join us, it is now. Every contribution, however big or small, powers our journalism and helps sustain our future. Support the Guardian with a single contribution from as little as £1 or commit to a monthly amount. 9 points work those as just 30 cents per day. Thank you.